It's Against the Mat. I am Drew.
And I'm Ryan.
And we are here talking with the one and only Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer newsletter here today. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
It's snowing here.
Again.
So I'm very envious of you being in California. So let's start off talking a little bit about this Sunday's WWE Fastlane pay-per-view. It is apparently the final brand-exclusive pay-per-view WWE is going to be doing, at least for the foreseeable future. Yep. Anything on this show that is catching your eye at all that you're interested in?
I mean, the main event will probably be good. I mean, we saw a five-way on TV that was good.
Yeah.
I don't know why I watched a five-way on TV to build to a six-way on pay-per-view. I felt like I kind of saw it. I'm sure it'll be a little bit better on pay-per-view because it's a more higher-profile match. But I'm sure that will be good. Usos and New Day always have good matches. So, but I mean, as far as like for this month, it's not high on my priority list. There's a lot of stuff that I'm more interested in than this.
Let me ask you something, Dave. To continue along the storyline that John Cena is running heading into Mania, is it make sense for him to be the one that takes the pinfall? He gets pinned?
It could. I wouldn't do that. I think that they haven't protected Cena well enough lately, so it wouldn't. If it was me, I wouldn't do that. I think that if you're going to bet on who's going to lose the fall, I'm going to bet on Sami Zayn, given that he won on Tuesday, so they'll figure, well, we gave him a win on Tuesday, so now we can beat him.
That's very true. It's funny, yeah, you mentioned John Cena, and they haven't protected him. I mean, it's amazing just the total turn that they've taken with him, because before, and everyone used to sort of, pejoratively call him Super Cena because he would never lose. He would never look weak. And now he loses on a weekly basis, it seems like.
That's the role of the top babyface. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's like people who complained about that aspect, as long you can complain about the position, but somebody has to be in the position.
Well, of course.
And I don't know that there was nobody better at the time for the position. And the guy in that position needs to be protected, whether it's John Cena or Hulk Hogan or Dusty Rhodes or whatever. It's like that's. If you don't protect the top, Stone Cold, if you don't protect the top guy, he's not the top guy. So I think people who did the Super Cena thing had no concept of understanding of pro wrestling. But yeah, I mean, I feel a legend needs to be protected to a certain degree. I mean, I think you only should beat him when it's important to the guy beating him, where like it's a major step just to beat him, and which they've done 3 or 4 times of late. Yeah. I think that's just counterproductive on protecting a legend.
Yeah, and it seems so off. I mean, if the plan is for Cena to face Undertaker at WrestleMania, and that certainly seems like it's the idea, if he does lose again, I mean, it does kind of... I mean, I suppose in this sense, and I don't know that one should ever argue the idea that wins and losses don't matter, but in this case, I mean, I suppose they could look at it and say, look, we're doing Cena-Taker anyway. That's going to supersede any wins or losses that Cena has had.
It does, but once you start thinking like that and you start professing that mentality, what ends up happening is that then nobody cares who wins and loses because it doesn't mean anything. And once you've got that, you've really removed a lot of the drama and storyline methods of the industry. I mean, it's like it's not all about wins and losses, and some people overemphasize the value of the wins and losses. But if you take it away and wins and losses mean nothing, what are we watching? I mean, why watch matches? What do championships mean? And when you have that, it just becomes, it becomes something, we're going to watch like spectacular moves that mean nothing. And it's like, that's something, but that's not, that only appeals to a certain percentage of the audience, I think. I think that you want the best of entertainment, but you want the best of sports, and it should be a combination of both. And when you throw one of those out and just we're just entertainment, it's like, well, if you're just entertainment, I mean, and I guess you can make the art, I don't know. If you're just entertainment, I don't really need to watch 52 weeks a year. You know what I'm saying? If the matches don't mean anything, I really need to fast forward through a lot of these matches.
And 3 hours a week on Mondays and 2 hours on Tuesdays, and yes.
Dave, looking at Fastlane, though, do you expect or predict any title changes?
No. I mean, the tag team title, I mean, the U.S. title, it's possible to go with Orton, but I wouldn't. I think that Jinder probably interferes in some form.
Leads to an eventual triple threat at Mania would be my guess.
Triple threat at Mania. I mean, AJ Styles really should win. AJ Styles and Nakamura is the match people want to see. I think anything but AJ Styles and Nakamura in that title match would be a big letdown. So no, I don't see any chance. Charlotte, I would say there's like no chance of that one.
Yeah.
As much as no chance as there could be, it'd be completely backwards looking to beat her right before WrestleMania when she's so much more over than Ruby Riott. So no, I don't see any championship.
Speaking of Charlotte, you reported a long time ago that the proposed plan was for her to defend against Asuka.
Yeah.
As far as you know, is that still the direction?
Everything looks that way to me. I haven't been told different, which doesn't mean necessarily anything, because if they change, in that match, I don't know that I would know. If they change in the main event, I would hear. But
yeah,
in an undercard match, I probably wouldn't hear until they announce it on TV. But but just watching, the Charlotte, Asuka, and Nia Jackson Bliss was the situations that I was told well back for WrestleMania. And it certainly seems like Nia Jackson, Alexa Bliss is a direction, which leaves Charlotte with Asuka. So, yeah, I think that's what it is.
So it wouldn't be shocking then, say, to see Asuka show up, say, Sunday?
It wouldn't shock me at all, because they have to have interaction. So either she shows up Sunday or she shows up Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. I would think to me, it would make the most sense for Sunday to start.
Yeah, get the ball rolling.
To get some buzz going, yeah. And then Raw, she doesn't even have to be on Raw. Theoretically, right? Alexa could just come out and be like, "Oh, I guess I don't have WrestleMania."
Right, and then throw Nia Jax right away.
And then Nia Jax just comes in and says, "Well, wait, no, not too fast."
Yeah.
They could.
Because it's time to get that card pretty much laid out. You know what I mean? We're only a couple weeks away, and that's a match that they should really be laying out. So yeah, I think by Monday and Tuesday we should get pretty much everything except for one or two matches. Hopefully, pretty much. Announced or at least teased strong enough to where that's where they're going.
And one thing you had talked about, if we're looking ahead at Mania right now, is the ultimate deletion, if you will. That's going to happen on Raw. Then is that correct?
As far as I know, it's on Raw. It'll either be this Monday or probably the next Monday.
They taped it. Was it yesterday?
It was taped yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be Monday. Yeah.
Any update with Jeff Hardy? Like when he's going to get back in the fold?
He's ready. So it could be any minute now,
So it wouldn't be shocking
whenever the decision's made to bring him back.
It wouldn't be shocking then to potentially see Brother Nero back at this ultimate deletion.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I would. That's where I would do it.
That would make the most sense.
I don't know that that's where they did it.
I'm just amazed that Vince McMahon is willing to go this far with it and actually do this, because it just seems so far outside of his bubble.
Yeah, because number one, because he didn't come up with it, and it was in another promotion. So it tells me that probably a lot of people convinced him very hard. Well, this is what got the Hardys back over, and when they came back, they got that giant pop. This is why, so go with it. Even then, he would usually fight it, but yeah, he's going with it.
Looking at Mania right now, you had talked about in The Observer that with everything that's going on with Roman and potentially the steroid scandal, Brock not knowing if he's going to re-sign with WWE or sign with UFC, looking ahead right now at the main event, what are your thoughts as to what should or what will main event?
I still figure that's going to main event. They spent a year building the idea of ending WrestleMania with Roman Reigns winning the championship, so I don't... they can change it, but...
So there's no chance that we would see, like, say, Cena Taker, if it happens, that they would main event?
I wouldn't say that at all. I think that there's a chance of Cena. I think there's a chance of the Ronda Rousey match last.
Yeah.
I think those three. I don't think that there's a good chance of the Nakamura-Styles match last. I just see that... you could do it, but I know that, like, there's the chance that it'll be... maybe a good chance it'll be the best match on the show. But that doesn't feel like... I don't know. I don't feel like Vince is going to put that one last.
Right.
No, it's not. It doesn't feel like a Vince match in general. It seems like... if it were NXT, that would be like the biggest match of NXT all year round. That would definitely be it. But, as far as a match at WrestleMania, no, it just seems maybe fourth in the pecking order, if that.
It feels fourth in the pecking order, yeah.
I think there's probably as good a chance as any that the mixed tag goes on last. You got to think.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Plus, you get the stigma away that no women have ever main evented.
This is their way of doing that.
There will be a lot. The thing with that, though, is, and not that this matters at all because it matters none, but I think there will be a lot of people unhappy that Stephanie McMahon and Ronda Rousey main evented WrestleMania and were the first women to main event WrestleMania, just because neither of them, were full-time women wrestlers. And then Kurt, it's basically it's 4 people who aren't even on the road. And granted, in a sense, you go with the match with the most interest last, and that feels to me like it is the match with the most interest. So I wouldn't, but I could also see like a lot of longtime fans just, really complaining about it. But they're not. I mean, that's not their business to satisfy that audience. But I mean, I mean, again, when the card was laid out, Roman Reigns and Lesnar was going to go last. Now, can that change? Yeah, of course it can. And I'm sure that the match order probably won't even be made until a week before the match anyway. So I think the crowd reactions will and arguments back and forth will probably ensue for the next couple of weeks until they make that call.